Are you guys really talking about reparations? 300,000 white people gave their lives to end slavery. Think about that. They sacrificed their lives for people that they had never even met. These were white people who never owned a slave. And now you want their descendants to pay money. What, was their life not enough? The Union Army had over 500,000 casualties and 90% were white. They gave life and limb to make America live up to her promise. But you all know what this is really about, right? The call for reparations is just more identity politics. It's promising people free stuff to get their support. The idea is ridiculous. Even if we could figure out whose great-great-great-great-grandfather owned a slave and whose great-great-great-great-grandfather was a slave, it would still be a stupid idea. Would you hold a son responsible for a crime his father committed? Of course not. And I think Democrats are now coming out for this idea because they're afraid that they're starting to lose the black vote. They see young, outspoken black conservatives coming out of the woodwork, and that's making them nervous. The Democrats have long shifted their focus over to Hispanics and gays and transgenders and whoever else they can turn into a victim, and they've only been paying lip service to blacks for some time now. In this economy, where every group that Democrats like to single out, blacks, Hispanics, women, etc., are all doing better, they have to take bold action to get people's attention. And nothing gets your attention like saying, "If you vote for me, I'll give you a bunch of money." I hate that we even have to talk about people by groups like race or ethnicity. As a blue-collar worker, I work with people of different ethnicities and races, and I work for people of different ethnicities and races. And their race or ethnicity doesn't matter to me. It matters how they treat me. It matters who they are as a person, but that kind of talk will make the language police types call me a racist. That's how much they want to keep us divided. They will accuse me of being a racist for saying that I don't judge people by the color of their skin. I'm afraid that MLK had a dream, and the left are turning it into a nightmare. They make a person's race their defining characteristic, and it's sad that so many people fall for it. Great thinkers like Thomas Sowell or high achievers like Ben Carson are dismissed by the left just because they're black. They're called sellouts. A sellout is a person who abandons their convictions to make money or become more popular. These great men are the exact opposite of a sellout. They live by their convictions, and that's why they get attacked. Because they're black, they have to act and think a certain way or they won't be considered black enough. But when's the last time you heard someone being accused of not being white enough over their career choices or their political views? Now let's get back to reparations. Ex-slaves were promised some land and money and never got it. That's not right. But that can't be resolved today. We can't make good on a promise some 100 years after all the former slaves have been put to rest. Reparations are impossible. We can't make amends to the people who were wronged because we didn't wrong anyone. Those people are long gone too. But okay, let's assume that we owe black people for the legacy of slavery. Is that all black Americans or just blacks whose lineage comes from the South? Do we owe wealthy blacks the same as poor blacks? What about a black baby born tomorrow? Do they deserve reparations? And what do we owe them? Money, housing, food, education, medical care? Or how about job training and child care while they're working, or money for community development? Or how about all the above? Well, they do get all the above. That's if they aren't doing all right on their own. Those are all the areas where we help the needy in our country. Have you ever heard of the pre-welfare poverty gap? It's the amount of money needed to raise the income levels of all the currently poor households to the poverty line. It's basically how much money we need to spend on the poor to raise everyone out of poverty. That figure was around $248 billion in 2016. And we spent just over $1 trillion that year on the needy. That's 4 times the amount needed to pull every household out of poverty. Isn't that basically reparations? Or are you all expecting a small piece of land to farm and a mule to pull your plow? Look, we're spending a lot of money on the poor. A single mother working a full-time minimum wage job makes around $14,000 a year, and she'll receive basic cash, food, medical, and housing assistance. That will make her combined earnings and benefits total over $47,000. That is more than enough help. I'll put the link to those statistics in the description so you all can go through them yourself. The problem isn't that black people who aren't doing well need reparations to get ahead. We're already giving people who need it a lot of help. We have to figure out why that help isn't working. Why are there so many single mothers? Why are there so many people dropping out of school or graduating illiterate? Why are so many people addicted to drugs and alcohol? These are all self-limiting behaviors that won't allow a person to get ahead, no matter how much money we give them. And our system isn't doing anything to stop these behaviors, and in fact, often encourages them by rewarding them. If a mom can get more money out of the system by not being married, why would she ever get married? I'm sorry, but reparations aren't the answer. And I don't think any politician is all that serious about it anyway. It's just a political move to gain support. We're already spending more than enough to help the poor get out of poverty. And the fact that so many are not getting out has more to say about who those people are and how the system works than it does about how much money we're spending on the poor. Reparations would just be throwing good money after bad. Until we reform the system, we'll continue to encourage some of the self-limiting behaviors that keep many of the poor perpetually downtrodden. And that's the simple truth. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to become a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic, check out the links in the description and give what you can.